I am also quite shocked as to some of the stories you will hear throughout our speech also show why Becky has such an enormous task ahead of her. To those of you who know Matt, will know him as a caring, loving, hard-working guy. But to us, he's known as the dopey, useless, simple Matt. Let me take you back to when I first met this small, smiling, slightly simple-looking kid with a bright orange school bag in the playground. It was here our friendship began, and when he got his first nickname that has stuck for many years, Carrot. Here I would like to bring out your first gift of the evening, so you can remember all those memories from school. After being placed into the same tutor group as Carrot throughout secondary school, we came across some of our favourite teachers, such as Miss Fogarty and Miss Timberlake, but both for very different reasons. It was here at secondary school where our friendship group expanded.
My first memory of Carrot was in science class in year 7 at the secondary school that Luke mentioned. Going by the name Carrot, I didn't actually know his real name was Matthew until year 9. He was as kind-hearted, innocent and welcoming back then as he is now, and we formed a friendship immediately. He was however dopey, like Luke said, as the first thing I remember him doing was burning his finger on a Bunsen burner. We had many adventures during the school years that followed, including a trip to see Michael McIntyre at the BIC and catching a ride on the Streetwise bus to prom. Little did we know, that bus was designed to keep dangerous youths off the street, so maybe we weren't so cool getting on that bus after all. I'd like to put my first gift in your orange bag, a toy replica of the Streetwise bus, so you'll always have the memory of those school years. I'm extremely honoured and proud to be stood here today as one of your best men, and couldn't be happy for both of you. I know you'll make each other and Rolo very happy for the rest of your lives.
I'd also like to start by saying that it's an absolute honour to be stood up here today as one of your best men. I've obviously known you for the best part of 15 years, so when you asked me to be your best man was truly an honour. Obviously, because I've known Matt so long, I've known and been able to see him grow into the most successful man that he is today. My earliest memory, however, of Carrot was sneaking round to his to play Pokemon. We used to play football together down at the infamous JP. However, I was never allowed back to the area around Carrot's home. Yet somehow, we would always end back up there together, playing Pokemon on our Game Boys. Looking back, I should have known that there was a clear warning sign that you'd be a bad influence on me for years to come. As such, very true. I'd like to give you these Pokemon cards as a reminder of all the times. So you've got me into trouble, or that we've led us into trouble straight.
I spent the best part of my college days with Carrot, with our first year at Tottenham College and our last 2 years spent at Brockenhurst. Countless trips to and from every day in his old trusty Seat and my little blue Clio. We were able to just talk about anything and everything, to and from sharing lifts. And that was a time I probably undervalued, whilst it was happening. But in the midst of all these jokes, I want to thank you for that, Carrot, as you always had my back and would always listen. Another quality you possess is your generosity. We all went away to Swansea for Alex's 19th. We hit up the local casino and Carrot lent me a £5. After some fantastically good luck, we managed to walk out of the casino with nearly £700. We obviously thought that was a good idea to go to the local bar and buy 101 WKDs, line them up on the bar and see how quickly we could drink them. So, I'd like to present you the £5 you lent me. Treat yourself to a drink, mate. While we're talking of generosity, after that kind of gentle act to myself, when we were much younger, my parents went away, so we thought we'd have ourselves a bit of a party. Matthew, being responsible and charmingly good-looking lad he is, thought he'd managed to get very lucky. So, asked if I had any protection. Well, as you can imagine, I was more than happy to help out a friend and open up my wallet and pass on my last condom, an apple-flavoured condom. Matthew was very thankful this, I'm sure. However, I was much less thankful the next day when clearing up my room, opened my curtains and found a lovely apple surprise all over my windows. I would like to present to you a condom to remind you to clear up after yourself.
We're moving swiftly on from that, Luke. Let's talk about Matt's driving. Matt has considerably improved his driving skills since the beginning. He's the only person I know to have blown an engine up in a car for forgetting to put oil in it because he didn't realise what the light on the dashboard was.
Wouldn't be the first time, mind. Let's not forget the time he had to push his car up College Lane into the university car park because he blew it up in a puddle.
He also had a very strange way of parking. The normal person would slow down to a stop, place it in neutral and apply the handbrake. This would prove too difficult for Carrot. He would just slow down, take his foot straight off the clutch and stall. I'd like to present to you my second gift of the evening, a miniature car, in hope you can keep this one in good condition.
One of our teenage adventures was a trip to Stonehenge for Solstice. For those who haven't heard of Solstice before, it's an annual event where hippies from all over the country come together with various rituals and dances around the stones to celebrate the shortest night of the year. I'll be honest, we only went because Brian was trying to pull.
It didn't happen.
We got the bus from Taunton to Salisbury and a black lift to Stonehenge from there. We were laughing, drinking and having photos around Stonehenge for hours until we lost the daylight, and with it we lost Carrot too. He had completely disappeared and we couldn't find him anywhere. He reappeared at 4 AM. "Where have you been?" Luke and I shouted at him. "I'm not too sure," Carrot replied with a grin on his face. I got lost and found a very friendly old man who gave me something to eat that I probably shouldn't have. He had passed out on the grass. So to remember that night, Matthew, my next gift is a snow globe of Stonehenge. Becky, you can join hand around the home. Carrot, you can use the white stuff as a reminder not to take things from strangers.
It's funny you should talk about that actually, Ali, because although most people here will know Carrot as a big lovable bear, they probably won't know that his ability to handle his drink is somewhat questionable, as we've just heard. No more so than on his 21st birthday, when some members of our friendship group, Luke, thought it'd be hilariously funny, which to be fair it was, to tie Carrot to the Welcome to Lyndhurst sign.
Now, I always get the blame. However, this was probably one of those occasions where it was my fault. As Jamie mentioned, we thought it would be really funny to tie Matt to the Welcome to Lyndhurst sign. And, lo and behold, Luke Briley got carried away and pulled his trousers down round his ankles. Carrot was, as you can imagine, not very happy. However, I momentarily managed to get away with this.
Yeah, of course you did, because you told him it was me. So I mean, when he finally got free and had actually pulled his trousers up, I was met with the purest straight arm slap you will ever see. And I get the feeling, although he knew I wasn't involved, he rather enjoyed connecting with it nonetheless.
That's true, and it was a great sight to see. However, I didn't get away for it for too long. I remember being chased down Lyndhurst High Street and finally trying to find respite in a local kebab shop. It was a first for me, but I was very thankful for the protection it provided me when a very, very angry Carrot found out who the true culprit was.
Whilst we mentioned kebab shops, we have to talk about the one we stumbled across in Newcastle. We'd been to the football, had plenty of pints in the pub, danced away in the clubs and were finishing the day with a kebab. Bride was safely ordering his chicken dollar wrap when all of a sudden the lights went out, a disco ball came on and loud music started blowing out the speakers. We turned around to see what was going on and Carrot stood on a chair, dancing away with some bloke with a suitcase in the air to flow around that the club can't even handle me right now. I'll never forget the image of Carrot balancing his cheesy chips in one hand and having a rave in the other.
Sorry, I have to take the glove off. Talking about questionable places to eat, I recall another time when we'd been on a night out and we'd gone to a KFC the night before. I remember thinking at the time that the KFC tasted a little bit funny, but didn't think much more of it. That was, of course, until our second lesson the next day at college. I needed to go to the toilet and I needed to go fast. I threw up everywhere and felt that I was over the worst bit when I emerged from the toilet. However, Alex and Carrot were waiting for me. I was greeted with a, "Fuck me, bride, you're green." Evidently not looking my finest. I asked one of the lads to drive me home, and Carrot eloquently said, "There's no way you're getting in my car." Well, thank you for that. Lo and behold, being the guy that he is, he did actually drive me home. However, it forced me to stick my head out the window the whole way home.
Carrot followed in my footsteps to Chichester University after completing an extra year at college with Luke. Here Carrot surprised me and showcased some more skills that I never knew you had. One, being able to play volleyball, but secondly, and I believe this is your best skill to date, is the straw peeler. University was where I met my girlfriend, but without the help of Carrot, it may not have been so fruitful. I remember one night we were offered pizza back in Charlotte's Halls, so we duly obliged. This was the time I would need Carrot to become my wingman. However, all he achieved was a burn on the palm of his hand after laying on the sofa with a hot slice of pizza, refusing to move. Charlotte's first question was, "Is he alright?" It was here I really questioned what actually goes through your mind. However, he has come to my rescue many times after a wishy Wednesday. Luckily for me, his halls were directly opposite those of Charlotte's. And there are many times I would ring him on a Thursday morning asking for some appropriate clothing to walk home in, after trying to woo Charlotte dressed as a toga, in a bedsheet, or various other stupid fancy dress ideas. Fancy dress was a big theme of our time at university, and this is where Carrot obtained his university nickname. Pirates was a theme, and everyone had made a suitable effort. Striped t-shirts, face-painted scarves, but not Carrot. Carrot had donned a lovely black waistcoat, only succeeding in making himself look less like Captain Jack Sparrow and more like John Parrott. Carrot's second nickname, only ever heard at uni, John Parrott.
Ah yes, the famous John Parrott, which is usually accompanied by Carrot's own unique dance move, which, if everybody's lucky, you'll get to see a little later on. For those who don't know, Carrot and I attended university together, and I feel like this is where our bond truly grew. Having spent the best part of 3 years, including 2 years living with each other, there's a very, very long list of things that happened, some of which we did together. However, there are two that really stand out to me that are PC enough to tell. The first came right at the beginning of our university adventure, when we took a road trip together to visit Luke at Hartbury. After a few drinks and a bit of Dutch courage, Carrot thought he'd be able to outdrink Luke's rugby-playing friend, which, to Carrot's credit, didn't go as badly as you'd all think. He did actually make it until 9:30 before passing out, all on Luke's floor and missing the entire night. So Carrot, as my second gift to you, I actually have one of the t-shirts that we managed to acquire that night as a reminder to you to know your limits and not challenge strangers to drinking contests. The second came from our final year together. So when Carrot was sensibly staying in completing an assignment, I was out at pre-drinks for a standard wishy Wednesday, when I got a message asking if I'd done the work for 10 AM the next day. Instead of doing the sensible thing and going home, I proceeded to go to the bar and drink the night away, drunkenly calling Carrot in the process. The problem was, in my drunken state, I hadn't realised that I'd woken him up at the time, asking him to set me up a workstation for when I got back. Nonetheless, despite waking him up at an important time, when I arrived home, I found my laptop open, set up with a notepad, a bottle of water, and a big greasy kebab waiting for me to get me through the hours of essay writing that lay ahead that night, which I think just goes to show what a heart of gold Carrot truly has.
Now, Matthew, we need you for this bit of the speech, so could you make your way to the front of the table, please?
Over the years I've known Carrot, he's showcased some great talents that he possesses, and also some poor ones. Carrot is the only person I know who can shoot 50 over par round Paultons with a smile all day, and also score a hat-trick headers in football from left back. To remember that day, Carrot, here is your signed match ball 8 years later.
He's also the only person that we know who is so slow to react that he has to be handheld through a game of FIFA Pro Clubs.
He's surprisingly good at bowling, but still struggles to tie his own shoelaces.
In fact, his dad did tie his shoelaces this morning. But now, I feel the time is right now, Carrot, for you to showcase some of these abilities. Here, I would like to welcome you, your best talent of 2 strawpedos. Carrot, 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 You can sit back down now.
Carrot doesn't often get angry, but when he does, it's usually a spectacle to behold. Usually when we play football together, it's Carrot doing the winding up, whether that be getting his big slab head onto the end of corners, as Ali just said, or making opposition players cry by blowing on the backs of their neck. It's often amusing to watch. However, Carrot was on the receiving end of this kind of behaviour once. During a 6-a-side game, he was being wound up chronically by a small Spanish player. When Carrot finally had enough, he picked up the ball and confronted the guy. At first, we initially thought things were going to start to get ugly. However, Carrot's version of losing his control, losing his cool, wasn't an act of aggression. It was a tame throw of the football at his opponent. Very much like a child throwing a tantrum, leaving us all in fits of laughter on the floor.
As you just heard throughout this speech, Carrot sometimes struggles to hold his drink. And he seems to share this particular ability with Becky as well. We've just asked Luke about New Year's.
Now, I've been sworn to secrecy about this story, but what I will say is that when Becky came to New Year's at Luke and Charlotte's when they hosted last year, they had to get a new toilet shortly afterwards. Make from that what you will. Another one of our stories about Carrot and his alcohol. We went on a lads' holiday to Ayia Napa, and we had adopted our local fly bar, and we were walking back after a heavy session of drinking. Myself, Ray, Carrot, and a few of the other lads stumbled upon a bloke passed out outside of his apartment. This man had a bottle of vodka in one hand and some sun cream in another. There was obvious concern for this poor fellow.
Now, Matthew took it upon himself to remove the poor chap's clothes and ensure that should he remain on the patio floor outside his apartment until the next morning, he should be fully protected from the sun. Matthew proceeded to unleash a full litre bottle of Factor 50 sun cream, head to toe, all over the chap. But just after this kind of thoughtful act, his friends appeared and were rather irate about what had happened. They had questioned us to see if we had any knowledge of what had happened.
Without a single moment's notice, Carrot pointed in the other direction from our apartment and said that the guys had run off that way. Half of them stayed to thank Carrot, and the other half ran off to find a mystery sun cream supplier.
After a thoroughly organised and planned out stag do to Moldova, which fell through, we ended up in Split in Croatia, which was almost kept a surprise.
Thanks, G.
The theme for the first night was dedicated completely to Carrot, Orange Night. We took to the streets of Split, dressed head to toe in orange clothes. Well, by we, I mean everyone else but Matt. It was Carrot's stag do after all, so it only seemed right that he spent the whole day and night in a Carrot costume, complete with a little Carrot top hat. The second night was shit shirt night, as always on a stag do, and the third and final was smart night. This gave us all a chance to dress up and take loads of lovely photos together to remember a fantastic weekend away.
The stag do had everything from laughter to fallouts to a certain person getting egged, and rumour is there's still some in his ear.
To another, raising a toilet roll holder aloft like he'd just won the Champions League. To the ever-respectful Carrot, providing us with all the line we'll never forget. Drunkenly sleep-talking and shouting, "Rolo, out." This is a shout out to Becky for helping us sneak this final object today. Carrot, the final gift that we have for you is the Carrot top hat from your gift in Croatia. But we've actually signed it from all the boys as a reminder that we'll always be here for you both no matter what.
Right, now Becky, although Jamie's just said that's the final gift for Carrot, we've actually got one more for him. But we think now that you've legally said you're responsible for him in front of all of these people, that you should have it. I present to you a top of the range 8 to 11-year-old colouring book, included with crayons, should you get upset or bored on the flight on your honeymoon. I hope everyone has enjoyed themselves today, and I'd just like to reiterate Luke's points from earlier that the bride and groom, and the wedding party of course, all look fabulous. It's been a great day to be a part of, and we are collectively immensely proud to have been such a big part of your day. I hope that none of these stories have put you in too much trouble, and want to know how proud you are of the man that you've become. And although we've already welcomed Becky many years ago, we'd like to officially welcome Becky to the family. So ladies and gentlemen, if you'd join me in toasting the bride and groom.